A culture can be described in many ways. Basically, a culture is the arts, customs, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation or people. Now, you might ask, well, what does my culture have to do with me personally? According to David Hufford, our culture has a way of shaping our interpretations. Even though culture is not a conscious idea on our minds 24/7, our environment has a way of sneaking into our everyday experience. Hufford also suggests that his experiential source theory explains how culture affects the way in which people interpret the events that happen to them. His experiential hypothesis relates to the cultural hypothesis in that they agree that our perceptions and intuitions about certain experiences arise from previous experience within our culture. So, are Hufford's ideas the only way to describe the presence of monsters and the supernatural in our everyday lives? W. Scott Poole, author of Monsters in America, has another concept of the way we interact with the supernatural and monsters in our culture. His idea is that monsters are the product of different fears and apprehension in our contemporary culture. He looks at individual works and historical context to support his explanation. Looking at historical texts and perceptions is important because you can see that in different time periods, there are definitely anxieties that encompass much of America. I think each of these ideas has merit, and that they can be combined in a way that explains why we associate our culture with the things we experience. While Hufford describes his cultural hypothesis as the way people interpret their experiences, I think Poole makes a point of our culture being defined by common themes throughout history. I think the historical context of our culture and the apprehensions shared by a large group of people can definitely affect the way we interpret supernatural experiences. These two authors explain ideas about how we understand our encounters with the supernatural. While they may disagree on how culture impacts us without being obvious, I think they can agree that it definitely shapes our minds and our lives day to day.